So, okay. So we ranted about Alyssa Milano's kid. We
What's
talked about
next?
government stuff. So now this word, I mean, honestly, we're kind of through all of our topics. We did the random, talked about the royal family. I hate you, Meghan Markle. Just want to throw that out there. And when there's no Gypsy Rose hasn't been in the news, so we can't talk about her. We talked about our obligatory weekly Taylor Swift. That just seems to be the thing. I think that's going to be the thing until after the Super Bowl is over. I think she's just going to be a topic of conversation everywhere.
Oh,
Do we want to talk
100%.
about, did you, let's talk about wrestling. Can we talk about wrestling?
Yeah, we can talk about wrestling.
So, if you guys don't follow wrestling like we follow wrestling, Vince McMahon, who
Like she
so
follows
he
wrestling.
founded, yeah, I know. You should. I'm just saying. You like drama
Yeah,
and
I
people
mean,
kicking each other,
I
okay?
I prefer to be the one doing the kicking, but okay, carry
Yeah.
on.
But okay, so Vince McMahon, who founded WWF, which is World Wrestling Federation, became WWE, he is being sued by a former employee. Or actually, I guess not really. He's not being sued. This motherfucker got like SA charges against him, trafficking charges against him, prostitution charges against him, all of that stuff. And I just so I sent you the court docket because of course I read the entire court filing that her is filed within the
Yes, you
courts
did.
that they pulled. There's some nasty, nasty shit. So they only name Vince, Jonathan Laurentis, which if you don't know who he is, the Bella twins, he's married to their mother. And her mom met him through like the twins when they were wrestling. So names him and Vince McMahon as, but it names like other wrestlers. Like there was a wrestler that they were trying to get it fucking frozen. No, it's not frozen. So they were trying to get him to re-sign a contract. And so he basically pimped this girl out to this guy. And there's allegations that it's the wrestler Brock Lesnar, which it kind of makes sense because he was supposed to be like in the Royal Rumble last week, was not in the Royal Rumble. He was on like their newest video game cover. They took him off the cover. But there's allegations where he's like asking for pictures of this girl, like of her peeing, like videos of her peeing, like on the toilet. There's allegations that they used to regularly assault this woman, like Vince and Lorenz's at the office, sexual assaulting her at work. Like there's where this one's gross, but like somebody shit on her head.
I
Like
heard about
and
that.
Vince went to go shower and she kept having to perform acts on somebody like with it like just running, like it's nasty. Like if you go through the whole thing and girl had screenshots, she knew what she was doing. There's screenshots of this text messages that he has sent her and they're fucking vulgar, they're disgusting, they're just demeaning to women. And there's even like where allegedly he pimped his daughter out, Stephanie, out to Macho Man Randy Savage. Yes, the Slim Jim guy. And
Oh
there were
no.
rumors in the early, this is like when she was allegedly, let's focus on this when we get sued, when she was like 17. But there's like other articles that shows it was like consensual and she was
Wow.
18 and whatever, which, she's been something pages. Girl. I mean, if you want some like what the fuck reading, you thought like American Nightmare was what the fuck. This is truly like what the fuck. But it also shows you there's probably a bigger problem, you know? Because
Yeah,
it's
it's
not,
called Vince McMahon.
yeah. Well, yes. But it's again the patriarchy. But if he did this to her, there's no telling how many countless other women he did it to and
Yeah.
things like, you know?
You know what I'm so curious about is how this was like flew under the radar for as long as, and I know that we're in the age of like uncover, like we're all a bunch of internet sleuths now and people are leaking stuff and exposing stuff, but I'm just like, how did this go on for as long as it did? without anybody saying anything, you know?
Well, it's a male dominated like industry too. So, I mean,
I
I
guess.
mean, well, at the same time you say that, but like, you don't ever, there's always, those stories of like when a dad is doing the same kind of acts to their kids, like, or, when there's physical
Mhm.
abuse going on. Oh, I never knew. He had me fooled.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
It
I'm
just
sure we're going to see many more women
when
come out with like the same kind of story though.
Oh, for sure. I don't think that Vince McMahon will be he's not the first. He definitely won't be the last. But, I'm not trying to diminish anything that anyone's been through, but when it's just like a private citizen doing, horrible things to their own children, it's a private matter, and it like doesn't
Yeah.
come out unless somebody starts to come out with the information, or somebody gets caught. Vince McMahon is a very, very public person, and it just like how there's I just can't wrap my mind around it, because like if I was privy to that information, I'd be the first fucking one to be on the phone with
That's
GM.
because you have a soul. No, that's the whole thing.
I do,
And
and
you're
I'm
not, and he probably surrounded himself with like-minded people and people
yeah,
with the same value. And I mean,
yeah,
what's wacky to me is whenever, because this Laurentis guy, you think he's like this sweet, like older man, like met the love of his life later, has a daughter. That's what boggles my mind is these men that are in this, like being charged right now, they have daughters.
yeah.
They have daughters, and you're okay with that? Like, you
Hmm.
were okay with your alleged, so we don't get fucking sued, alleged behavior.
Hmm.
But that's the whole value. Don't say shit. It's gonna fly under the radar, and it's nobody's gonna say anything. Just like that doctor that did it to all of the gymnasts. Look at how many gymnasts came forward,
Yeah, yeah, that's
and it
true.
took decades because it's always, and I think women, it's our word against theirs. It's always our word
Yeah,
against theirs, you
yeah.
know
Yeah.
so it
And
kind of
when
puts us,
the
and this,
hell did we go back to like the 1950s and 60s? I'm very curious because
I don't
I
think
didn't
we've
I
ever
didn't vote for
left.
that. I didn't vote for that.
I don't think we've ever left that time period. I really honestly don't. I think we've always been there. I don't think it's changed. I think it's always been boys will be boys and they get away with whatever.
I don't I guess I don't want to say that you're wrong. I don't want to say that you're right either. Because what the fuck does that mean if you are? But it's almost just like, have I really been walking around in this like stupor of ignorance, thinking that that we had come so far from the time when a woman couldn't even have a credit card without
Yeah,
her
that was
father
in the
or her
70s,
husband's permission.
like 72,
Yeah, and
74.
yeah, and Vince McMahon, he's always had like portrayed this character of, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know much about wrestling. I know enough about Vince McMahon to know that I don't fucking like him, and he's always
Yeah,
portrayed this, and I always understood it that was his
it was
character.
a
I
shtick and a
always
character. No, it's
I
his
understand
literal
the
character.
heel and the hero and all of that, but it's like, how much of that was fake and how much of that was just Vince
Carryover.
being Vince,
Yeah.
just Vince being Vince, you know?
Well, you also see how many, and I think it's a lot too, because there was something we were watching the other day, and it was pre this stuff coming out, and it was oh, it was like the WWE. They used to like make their own shows, and this show called Ride Along that was kind of like what James Corden does when he has the celebrity. So it's like the superstars traveling from like one event to the other, and it was Paige and Alicia Fox. And they were playing like Kiss, Mary, Kill or something like
Okay.
that, and it was one of those that it was like they would kiss Vince, and you could tell by their, like both of them, like the way that they carry themselves talking about it, because when a woman's had that kind of situation with a guy. First of all, they came up with these names off the top of their own heads,
Mm-hmm.
that they honestly, they did not have that same experience. And this woman, you say, how do we not know? How do we know? He kept pressuring her. He was going to give her like a couple of $1 million and have her sign an NDA. And he was trying to, once she got an attorney, that's when he busted out with the money and the NDA, or signed the NDA without her attorney really looking it over. So that's how
Mm-mm.
he's paid women off. Probably had them sign NDAs, and that's kind of, and I think people don't understand, as you sign that NDA, there's probably almost always like a loophole to get out of it, you know? So if you sign an NDA, all you
Get
famous
a
people
fucking
out of the
lawyer.
7 people that listen to us, get a lawyer and have them look at it,
Yeah.
you know?
And it just sucks because, he's probably preying on the fact that a lot of these, young come-uppers, that are trying to make a name for themselves in the industry, and they are willing to do just about anything. And apparently he's willing to let them, and push
Yeah.
their boundaries. It's just disgusting. And it
It's
makes
the
me very
casting couch
sad.
mentality
Yeah. Oh, for
of a lot
sure.
of it.
For sure. It makes me very sad to think that we haven't,
Come further.
I have come to the realization that I've been living in sort of like a naive stupor, and I think, and it also makes me very like more like firm in my resolve in the way that I'm raising my own
Yeah.
biologically female daughter, and that you when you see something, you say something, and if you feel like
Yeah.
if someone's doing something or saying something that makes you uncomfortable, you speak up. And I don't care
Yeah, you fucking call them out.
how significant or small you think it is. If you feel some type of way, there's a reason for it. You have a
Yeah.
subconscious for a reason. And if your subconscious is to have given you that pit in your stomach that something's wrong, you need to tell somebody, because that means there's
Yeah, you
something
need to follow
wrong.
along with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole thing, is you have to teach your sons too, to,
Yeah.
if your friend's like being wholly inappropriate with women, call them out on it. And I see he agrees with me. He said, "Yeah, you
Yeah.
fucking right."
He does. Yeah. Fucking right. Right. Tell
Yep.
them. Say, fuck
Yep.
fuck the patriarchy.
But I think that's the thing, is we think that our women's liberation has come so far because we got hoodwinked into having to work now. Like, we have a voice, but we don't have a voice because most of corporate America is still owned by men. And,
Mm-hmm.
it was 10 years, 8, 10 years before you and I were even born that a woman could get a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
Hold,
That's crazy
please.
to me. Crazy to me. Hi, Micah.
Amy says, "Hi, buddy."
Shower time.
Yep. Don't forget to turn the light on.
Click.
Micah, our weekly special guest, Micah. Little drive-by. But that's the whole thing, is like, you and I don't think about it because this has been something that has always been a thing. And I even, like, when I took Rylan to vote this year for the first time, like the attendant helping us, they were so stoked because she was there. And she was like, you couldn't even vote 70 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or 100 years ago. You had to be a landowning man to vote. And that just
Mm-hmm.
shows that was the 1920s, guys. That was
Yep.
100 years ago that we got the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff, like, she was not like one of the performers, this woman in the suit, or this case. She actually was introduced, I think, like, she was like down on her luck, like she knew, or like something, like the janitor or custodian or somebody, maintenance man for her apartment building, knew Vince and introduced them. And it
Okay.
started out with like a sexual affair, and then it turned into like this dominance kind of disgusting behavior that we see. And until, I mean, honestly, it's never going to go away. It's never going to
Mm-hmm.
go away. You have to just be realistic about it. Men, and it's not that it's boys are going to be boys, but they've always gotten away. I don't even have like an explanation for it. It's just, some people are fucked up, and it's not just men that do it. We have to admit
No.
that. Like, it's not just men.
Absolutely.
And you can't fucking like scoff and go, can't rape the willing, because you fucking can, guys,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just one of those that, as long as excuses are made, because let's face it, he's a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
He's going to get a slap on the wrist,
Probably won't
you
get a day in
know?
prison. But
Yeah.
Harvey Weinstein is sitting pretty in prison right now. So, and Trump is facing 91 felony counts and 4 indictments. So maybe it's a turning point. Maybe I know, exhausted with my
My God.
positivity, but maybe this is a turning point. At least for
Yeah.
our daughter's sake, I'm at least hopeful.
I'm not, because I saw a statistic today, and I wish that I had saved it on how many women were denied abortions in
Oh,
Texas,
I saw that too. I saw it too.
and it was, guys, in a year. So let's focus. This was not a broad thing, because this, we even think like our rights to our bodies have gone backwards. So in a
Yeah.
year, like
And this was
over
not for the
20,
country. This was
this was
not, this was just
Texas.
for
So
just
just
Texas
focus
in one
just
year.
on Texas out of 50 states. And yes, Texas is large. They have a giant population. Over 20,000 women were the victims of sexual assault in the state of Texas. I cannot remember the number of them. I mean, they probably don't have a number, like a factual, honest number of women that were denied abortions that were sexual
Mm-hmm.
assault victims. So think
Yeah.
about that, and I think that's the thing is this, and I mean, that's not just women, guys. That's little girls. Think about
Yeah.
that. Like that whole bullshit of like the joke that it was old enough to bleed, old enough to breed. Some people take that shit fucking seriously, you fucking hillbilly ass backwards motherfuckers. And if I find you and I hear about it, look, I'm crazy and I could probably get away with it. I'm just going to throw that out there.
26,313 reported pregnancies were related
Reported.
to rape in Texas in the 16 months after the state outlawed all abortions. Now, if we remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the American Nightmare and how
Mm-hmm.
there were police officers that were actively coercing rape victims or assault victims to not report because it was a
Yeah.
matter of your there's no evidence, it's your word against his. And so how many times, how many more than this,
Yeah.
what was it,
That went unreported.
26 plus thousand went unreported. Yeah. And that probably doesn't even include like marital assault, pregnancies there was that it's just, it's disgusting. It's
And
absolutely
those are
disgusting.
pregnancies. Think about all
Yeah.
of the sexual assaults that don't result in a pregnancy.
Yeah.
It's disgusting that these people, like, that people still have that mindset. And I think we think we're like so evolved because we have technology and everybody can, we now have like the right to be our true selves and be our true genders and our true sexualities and all of that stuff.
As long as you live in the right
But
place.
as long as you're in the right place, but we're not. We're still this
Yeah.
faceless, immoral, like we're just, I mean, not to sound like a fundamentalist Christian, but like I think it's just basic morals, like a
Hmm.
right from wrong. I think our country has lost a lot of that, and if we want to trace it back and really look at it, it started when Obama got, I think, this is my opinion. I think when Obama got elected, then the racists thought it was okay. They thought it was okay to come out and just be like blatantly racist and not give a fuck.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then Trump, with his grab them by the pussy,
Yeah.
carte blanche, disregard for women, persons of color, women of color, especially. Like everybody says this cancel culture is a thing. It's obviously not. It's only when
Hmm.
it benefits a certain group of individuals. And I
Yeah.
think it all starts like if you started at home teaching your kid right from fucking wrong,
Hmm.
that's where it starts. That's where it fucking starts. And sometimes you can teach your kid right and wrong and they can still be a fucker, but at least you did your part. Like, don't let your kid grow up to be a fucker. That's, I think, the
Yeah.
moral of the story. And
And I
boys will be
think
boys is a bullshit ass excuse, and
it's
teach your men to
bullshit.
respect women, respect females, respect people, trans women, anything. Because even one of Rollins' coworkers was saying how trans boys are not like real boys, and we were like, but they are,
But they
but they
are.
are,
Yeah.
yeah.
How about,
So,
rather than just like respecting a woman because she's a woman or respecting a man because he's a man, how about we would just respect each other because we're all
mm-hmm.
human beings and we all have to live on this spinning rock called Earth.
Yeah,
And it's, what amazes me is the fact that you and I have the upbringings that we have, and we are most of the time the most logical thinking minds in any room that we're in.
yeah.
We
I
just
think
look
that's
around and be
funny.
like, you
That's what
are
we think anyway.
all a
You're a
bunch of
fucker.
sheep.
You're a fucker. You're an idiot. You're a
Idiot,
dumbass. You
idiot,
are.
idiot, moron,
Your
idiot,
dad should have
dumbass.
pulled out. Your mom should have swallowed.
I mean,
I'm
there,
just saying.
but that just goes to show when you take away a woman's options.
Yeah, we've all seen Dirty Dancing. If she had been
Yep.
able to go to like a reputable doctor, she wouldn't have had an infection. She had to have a back alley abortion
Folding table with a dirty knife.
because the patriarchy told her she had to.
Yep. Yeah, but
So,
yeah, and it's everything. It's almost as if the entire system is just rigged against us because we're expected to just be the perpetual baby makers, but we're also expected to go out and get a job and be contributing members of society. But we're supposed to forget about the fact that we're moms when our boss needs us to work late and they don't want to take. I have to pick my kids up by 6 o'clock or else they're going to charge me by the minute per child. They don't give a fuck. So it's just like, what
no.
do? Am I supposed to be a mom? Am I supposed to be a worker? What am I supposed to do?
Yes. All of it.
All of it. You're supposed to do all of it. You're supposed to make the bacon. You're supposed to go out and bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan. All of it.
I think the monologue that America Ferrera does in the Barbie movie is so spot on. It's so spot on.
I still need to watch it.
I mean, you can watch her like monologue on like TikTok or Instagram or anything, but like I love the movie. Witten loves the Barbie movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, there's hope. There's hope.
But it's good. And I am like, show your male siblings, children, nephews, uncles, everybody. Show them the Barbie movie because it honestly does show the expectations of how women are treated anywhere. So I think it's one of those I could not tout enough. That's why it was kind of fucked up that like Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig were snubbed for Oscars. They didn't get a nomination or anything. That was why it was
Ryan
like
Gosling wasn't.
I mean, he did not Ken. He's just Ken. He just
Knuff.
is. Yeah. He's Knuff. I am Knuff.
I am Knuff.
So yeah. So that's our okay, so we did a politics, we did a government rant, we did a patriarchy rant. I think that's our trifecta. Like we're ching 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 done.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah. So who is hold on, I gotta cue it up. Hopefully it's still in here. I did have to wipe my computer. So because it was doing that shit last week too, and obviously it continued on this week. Hold, please. I should have had this queued up. I gotta get better at this. I'm not a producer. I'm not woke enough, I guess, to be
shit.
Yeah. So who is your dumbass of the week?
My dumbass of the week is all of these parents that are taking their 10-year-olds to Sephora and Ulta and Target and all the makeup counters. You are a bunch of dumbasses. First of all, spending all of that money on a bunch of skincare that these kids do not need yet. What's going to happen?
New.
Their skin is as good as it's ever going to be. It's all downhill from by the time when they hit 25, it's all downhill.
And there's no preventing it. There's not. No. Let's just face it.
No, you can slow down the hands of time. You can with the right products.
But you don't need to start when they're 10.
No,
you don't need to start when they're 10.
You know what? And I don't even have so much of a problem with the fact that the parents are buying the products because you know what? Buy the products. I am concerned about the type of products that they're buying because some of these products are just wildly inappropriate for their young skin. The thing that I have the biggest problem with is the destruction and the disrespect that these kids they're just wreaking havoc in these stores. And I only saw a very small like piece of it, but I saw it. And I like almost want to like go to different Sephoras at like different times of the day just to kind of like scope out the testers just to see like what kind of state of destruction they're in.
Oh,
And
it's the testers that they're just using haphazardly.
well, what they're doing is like, yeah, because so they're putting like they're getting it on their fingers and they're picking up
Okay.
all the packages. They do this thing where they make like these little like skincare cocktails, because I don't know if you've seen them, but the new like style, like trendy style of packaging is like the top of the moisturizer or the product will be like a pump, and you
Okay.
pump it and it like pools up in the top in like the lid, and then like they're mixing all of these different products, like here's a serum and here's these glow drops and this peptide and blah 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 blah, and they're just leaving them there. And I've also heard that they're like just being completely disrespectful to the staff, like, you know, they're
Oh,
saying,
I
oh,
can
do you
imagine
have,
that. Yeah.
yeah. I also heard a story, and I don't know how true it is, it's just a video that I saw, but like they will like scope you out if they think that you have gotten the last product of whatever it is that they are looking for. There was a story about a
And they're
girl
gonna come
that
snatch it or what?
that's exactly what happened. She said that, you know, so this little girl came up to her and said, do you have a Drunk Elephant a sunscreen? And she's like, yeah, I do. And then when she went to go pay for all of the stuff that she was buying, the sunscreen wasn't there, and she had the employees run back the cameras, and sure enough, this little 10-year-old teeny bopper, when she wasn't looking, reached her little grubby hand into her basket and snatched it out of her basket. So if you're going to buy your kids this stuff, buy your kids this stuff. I am not your mom. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your hi Micah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. That's your kid. Do whatever you want. But teach your kids a little bit of respect. Teach them not to
Yes.
be destructive. Teach them not to make a mess. If they break
Yes.
something, let someone know. And if you know what, if there's not any of the product that you're looking for, too bad, so sad. We'll come back next week.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I just had it shit. It's just ridiculous, you know. They've been
The
so
commercial
influenced.
materialism
Yes, they've
of
been
kids.
so influenced that they
Yeah.
think that they need all of these hyaluronic. I need hyaluronic, okay? I
Yeah.
have aging skin that requires retention of moisture. You have the most beautiful, perfect, bouncy, elastic skin that you will ever have in your life. And I'm curious if we're going to start seeing, you know, oh, I used a retinol treatment and now my skin's all broken out and I've got a rash. And like, well,
You
you
know
should
what?
have fucked.
That's what it is their skin's gonna get used to all of this shit. And then
Mhm.
puberty is gonna, and I see it because these kids, not only are they doing all of this skincare, but they're following the influencer
Mhm.
cake makeup. And so their skin is terrible when they're like
Yeah.
even up to like 20 something, because they wear the bronzer, they wear the toner, they wear the primer, they wear the paint, they wear the fucking everything. They have like an inch thick of fucking makeup on,
It's
and
a
their
whole culture.
skin is terrible.
Yeah.
Where us, y'all, we were wearing the orangiest shit we could fucking find, not
Yes, we
on
were.
purpose, but that's
It's just
because
what we
that's all that
had.
was available.
Mhm.
Okay, we had brown ass lipstick where we had like we had asshole mouth basically is what happened. Okay, we did. We had asshole mouth. We wore the makeup that I have on fucking today. Like I literally have done my makeup the same since I was like 12.
But you know what
Except my
was
products are
wrong?
a little bit better.
What was wrong with like, because I remember my first like skincare routine was like clean and clear,
Noxzema?
like daily moisturizer or
Yeah.
Noxzema, Sea Breeze, and you know, some like oil of Olay, you know, daily moisturizer or something. You know, if they really, really need a skincare, if that's just what they want to do, take them to Walmart, get them, you know, get them, you know, it's just not
Do you want to know what
appropriate.
my skincare regimen is?
Yeah.
I wash my face with like it's panoxyl, but it's like a clean and clear daily. thing. And then I put oil of Olay, just daily moisturizer with an SPF on.
Hey, yeah, you need
That
the
is my daily.
SPF.
I don't serum that shit. I don't put anything. I wear makeup when we record. And yes, I have like a breakout. I have a little bit of a breakout right now. Close the bathroom door, buddy, please. And then but I have concealer. I actually went and bought concealer. I know I can't. What's funny is I'm facing a mirror so I can just watch him go out the door. And he's like straight staring right the fuck over here.
He's just like,
He's like, hi, baby.
I love him so much.
You know,
Micah!
you got kisses on your cheek. There we go. Love you.
Is it dry now?
Yeah, I know. I wiped it off. You didn't brush your hair, huh?
No.
Go brush your.
I don't remember the good one.
You have a hairbrush in your bathroom. You know that, right? You don't have to always use mine. You like mine better?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I say when I use Eric's brush.
Thanks, buddy. Bye. Love you. Go on, get your booty out of her. Bye-bye. I love him so much. He's
amazing. I know.
He's the baby.
So I do like all the serums and the lotions and potions, but I get them in my Birchbox, and but I'm not spending $65 on the Drunk Elephant and the Laura Mercier and all of that. I get what I get and don't throw a fit. But you know what? I enjoy it. It makes me feel good. But you know what? I paid for that shit and I earned it. These kids are acting like they paid for it and they earned it.
And they're entitled to it.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem that I have with it is, there's the blatant, these poor employees, they know that their company's not going to do anything about it because they're like, there's too much money to be made off of these kids or off of these parents of the kids.
Yeah.
And it's just that, these parents of the 10-year-olds at Sephora, you guys are a bunch of dumbasses. So there you go.
So I will say, if you guys want like a hack, so I was like watching TV today and Elizabeth Banks was doing like a commercial for like number 7 skincare and the Drunk Elephant stuff and a lot of the serums you see that are super expensive in Sephora. Go look at your local TJ Maxx because they probably have them for like $7 because I was looking through a bunch of, because I thought about it. I was like, I'm getting a little older. I need to do a little something. And I was like, nah, I'm good right now. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm to the point now where like I said, I don't have a whole lot of fine lines and wrinkles. I'm just fat, so my skin doesn't sag right now. I'm a little oily, but I don't have a lot of breakouts because I don't wear a whole lot of makeup. I don't need that shit yet. I probably do. Like, some dermatologist is like, you dumb bitch, you totally fucking do. But I don't need it right now. I don't want to buy it because I'm not going to.
So. I don't blame you. I have gotten a couple of comments about my skin, like on my TikTok. So I'm like all about like doing my skincare now. I said like, oh, look, I got my skin look. But
so dewy.
It's so good. It looks so good.
So
like
good.
don't let the gray hair fool you. I am not a day over 25.
You don't have as many chins as I have, so you're great at showing like your face on your TikTok because I'm like even I did that Taylor filter where it was like if I don't have my camera like up here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it from above.
I look like I'm all the time. That's what I look like. I'm just not. So, and I tell Kevin all the time, like, I don't post like I have a hard enough time posting our so when we do like our recordings and having a YouTube because I'm so waiting for the dickheads to come out and just fat shame me on the internet because I've had that happen where I've commented on somebody else's TikTok and had people come at me for being fat, even just making a comment about like, hey, it looks good. Like I've gotten like, what do you care, fatty? Like, who cares? How could somebody ever have kids with you kind of shit? Because of that disgusting patriarchy mentality. But we won't go on that rant again. So that's your dumbass of the week is the parents, not the children. Let's preface that. Amy's not calling 10-year-olds
no
dumbasses.
They're awful.
Call them, Yeah,
They're awful,
disrespectful little bitches.
but that kind of behavior is taught, which is the reason
Yeah.
why I don't completely blame the 10-year-olds. But the parents are responsible. So yeah, the parents
Yeah.
are the dumbass.
Yeah. And then,
Mhm.
so Karens, what are the Derby Karens complaining about this week? We have a park in the middle of town that's a really nice park, and it's got like almost like water going through it, and has like rock walls and shit. And it is the center of town, so a lot of times teenagers and shit like that will come and hang out. Well, there was a post on our local Facebook page the other day. It was like, if you had like a tween or a preteen to 14-year-old son, and he was at Madison Avenue Park and he was climbing the rock wall, you need to tell him if there's little kids around, he shouldn't do that, because I took it upon myself to say something to him, because he was, the other little kids were trying to imitate what he was doing, and he shouldn't be doing that. And he told me that it was like I was not his mother, and I couldn't tell him what to do. And I was
Mhm.
like, well, you kind of were out of line, because it's not his responsibility. If he's having a good time and all he's doing is playing at the park, climbing a rock wall, and you don't like your little kid doing it, tell your kid not to do it. Don't
Yeah.
say something to him and tell him if him climbing a rock wall at a park is the worst fucking thing that he could be doing, leave him the fuck alone. That's the worst thing about living here, is that these people that live here, they forget that they were children and teenagers at one point in time too.
Yeah.
And the kids that live here now are not doing the same babies kids shit that we were doing when
That's
I was a
probably a good
teenager
thing.
here. So I'm just saying, just have a little grace. If you're older and you see like a kid doing, like, not you're necessarily, because if they're stealing shit, making a mess, running amok, that's fucking valid. But if they're not
Yeah.
hurting anything, not bothering anybody, and you don't like what they're doing, you know what?
Mind your
Fuck
business.
you. It's none of your business. Don't be a
Yeah.
Karen.
Mind your business.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's
Fuck
your
them
dumbest.
Karens.
What do we hate this week? Because I feel like we hated everything that we talked about today.
I hate fucking everything. I hate everything. I hate everything.
Yeah.
I had
I
something. I had like one solid good one earlier, but I don't remember what it
you forgot
was.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, we forgot.
I hate that nobody told me what being an adult was going to be like. How repetitive it
Yeah.
is.
All I ever wanted to do was just choose the radio station on the radio in the car. I never
Yeah.
asked to pay bills. I never
No.
asked to not be able to sleep. I never asked to get good sleep but then like wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I never asked
Yeah.
for any of that. All I wanted was to choose the radio station because I was told when you grow up and have your own car, then you can
You
listen
can
to
choose the
whatever you
station. Yeah.
want. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I wanted.
Cool, Mom. That's fine. I'll listen to the Shania Twain tape again for the 8th
Again.
time. Yeah. See, that's what they tell you too, is like staying in a hotel is so cool when you're a kid, but they also don't tell you that when you're in your 40s, you'll hate it. Like Kevin and I got in a hotel room on Friday because I needed a break from these fucking kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we got a hotel. It was like nice. It was a La Quinta, so it's not like top notch, like whatever, but it was nice. It was nice. And it's Kansas. So we could hear everybody slamming their like in and out of the door. Like I need hotels to do something where they fix that door slam, because I get you want the
Mm-hmm.
door closed, but if you're not going to soundproof my door where I can't hear,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like all fucking night long, all night long. We got like no sleep because it was literally, and right when we had started to kind of call, like we were boring, so we were like laying in bed at like 11:30. We hadn't had the obligatory like hotel sex that you have to have when you're gone and have no kids. And I thought he was shaking the bed. He thought, and I'm talking like it was like this. Okay. So we're like, what the fuck is that? And we're like, well, maybe like the people next to us are really going to Pound Town and they're having a good time. No, there was an earthquake in Oklahoma and we felt it in
I
Kansas.
heard about
Yes.
that. I was like a
Yeah.
5.3 or some
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah.
See, your mistake lies in like we are beyond the whole let's go get a hotel room for the night. You should have gotten yourself an Airbnb. Get yourself an Airbnb in a nice quiet neighborhood where there's like rules about like noise after a certain time. You get the whole weekend. That's the
see,
move next time.
I paid $87 or $81 for a hotel room that I didn't have a cleaning fee.
Mm-hmm.
That I was just, I mean, we were there from like 5 to like 9. We weren't
Okay.
there like, oh, yeah, it was like just an overnight kind of thing. We were up like moving around at 6:30. I like me a good continental breakfast. I
There's
like a
nothing wrong
continental
with it.
breakfast, okay?
Nothing, a little orange
So
slice on the
I can't
plate.
get a
Yeah,
continental breakfast at an Airbnb. So
that's
that's
true.
kind of where I'm, it's so much, and I don't want to pick up my towels. Like I'm that asshole that I'm like, I'm using every towel that is in here. I'm gonna scrub my face with your washcloth. I'm taking all, they had Dove like products. I was like, I need a travel Dove shampoo and conditioner. I need a
Mm-hmm.
mini soap. You're coming with me. I don't use makeup removing wipes, but I took it.
I do
Oh, shower
now.
cap. I was looking, they didn't have a shower cap. I was kind of sad because I do like a keratin treatment and I wish that I had like a shower cap because I want to sleep in it. So yeah, I was just, that's what they don't tell you. They don't tell you like being an adult sucks. And it's fucking
It
repetitive as
does.
shit. Like it's not exciting.
And
I
all
don't do
you
anything
want to do when
exciting.
you're a kid is just grow up, and when you're an adult, all you want to do is just be a kid again.
Take a fucking nap and have no
Yep. That's all
responsibilities.
I want.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay bills. I just want to lay down and just tell I want someone to look at me and say, go to your room and take a nap.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Good. Tell me, I wanted somebody to go to your room and take a nap. And then when you get up, I'm gonna have a snack for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snacks. I
And a
love
good
snacks.
snack. Don't hand me that like bullshit.
Don't give me a fucking
I don't
Lunchable.
want a fucking orange. I want some goddamn cookies and milk,
Better
okay?
have some fresh pita and some hummus and some green, or no,
Can a
some
bitch
purple
get some
grapes.
Teddy Grahams? Like a little Dunkaroo?
Oh, Dunkaroos. Before
If
I said
bitch,
Lunchables, I almost said Dunkaroos, but I didn't want to do that to
they
Dunkaroos.
still sell Dunkaroos, I'm just saying.
I know. I love Dunkaroos. They were so
Yeah.
good.
So
And Teddy Grahams, too. Teddy Grahams were a solid
don't
snack.
sleep on the Teddy Grahams.
I love
No.
the honey
Don't sleep
flavor.
on
The
the Teddy
honey
Grahams.
flavored Teddy Grahams. They were the best.
I'm a chocolate girl.
Chocolate Teddy
I'm
Grahams.
a chocolate girl.
Put those
I just like
together.
a Dunkaroo because I like frosting. I don't know if you know
Yes,
this
you do.
about me.
I do.
I'm
I
a big
do.
fucking fan of frosting.
Yep.
So that's why I gained 20 pounds from fucking November to like this week. I legit gained 20 pounds.
You know
I was
what?
like,
Stress
oh,
is a motherfucker. Sometimes stress makes you do
yeah.
things like eat an entire can of Duncan Hines frosting, too.
Yeah. In a week.
You know,
That was my
at least it
self-care
wasn't in
time.
one sitting.
Don't you challenge me.
I'm not. What you know? What
I'm just
I
saying.
dare you. I double fucking dog
No.
dare you, man.
I am on like a drinking my water, like eating clean kick right now, like just the last 2 days, obviously. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to lose at least like 10 pounds before I go to DFW. So that's where we are.
Well, I
And I had
support
another
that.
thing I was going to bring up, but it just went out of my head. So we talked about self-care. We talked about things we hate. We talked
Mm-hmm.
about Karen's. We talked about what time do you want to record next week?
On Sunday,
Yeah.
I'm free all day. I have made it a point to not do DoorDash on Sundays because I need a day.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean I have to be there I probably need to be there at 3. So you want to say 10, 11?
Yeah, we can do it. 10 your time?
Yeah.
Okay. That's 11 my time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm gonna make a note so that way. Okay, so your job is to listen to
Watch
that
the
Susan
Susan
Powell
Powell.
podcast.
Yes, listen to
It's
Susan
listen. You
Powell
don't even have to watch
podcast.
it.
Okay. I
What
still
the
have
fuck
the
was I
link.
gonna talk about?
I just looked for it. I still have the link.
Yeah, it's cold. That's all it is. It's like it's literally cold. That's the name of it.
Okay.
And he's done like her. I haven't listened to any of the other ones. Because I went to like down this like to live and die in LA fucking hole. That shit's fascinating as shit too. So, me and a true
Okay.
crime. My earbuds are falling out. That must be the time that we need to fucking wrap this shit up, huh?
Must be time to stop.
Right?
Where can we
Kevin,
find
like,
you on
it's been
social
2
media?
hours. Kevin, like, it took you long enough. What am I? Who am I?
What's happening?
That's not fucking indicative of like how the fuck my life is. I don't know what the fuck is. I am mama_Missy82 on TikTok. I am Miss Carter820 on Instagram. We have a Manifested Drama podcast Instagram. We have a Manifested Drama. If you're listening and you want to
YouTube.
look at the hair that I did today, you can't really tell because of my lighting. But we're on YouTube. We post shorts. We post our whole like episodes in 2 parts. Everything like that. Where can we find you, Aim?
OG Mary Mother 420 on TikTok. I am Mean Mommy Life on YouTube and Mary Mother 420 on Instagram.
Yeah. And hey, like and
Hey,
subscribe. If you guys like what we're doing, like and subscribe in whatever platform. It helps move us up in the rankings. It helps us get more listeners. It helps us get a little bit more exposure. And then we could afford to have a producer. And then you
we
guys
can
don't have
get
to deal
Missy
with
a
the
better
bullshit.
camera and a better
Yeah.
computer and that sweet,
Same.
sweet Poise Pads sponsorship.
Yeah. Because Alyssa Milano is obviously not going to give me that money.
No, nor is she
No.
obligated to.
No, she didn't birth me.
Nope.
Damn it. All right. Well, it was good talking to you, Fran.
Good talking to you, Fran. Talk to you next week.
Have a good
Or
week.
actually, I'll talk to you on
Bye.
Sunday. Bye.
Sunday. Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super
Bye.
Bowl. Bye.